Asia Wilson is upset that Caitlyn was able to pursue the possibility of relocating to Europe. Asia has already made demands to be the face of Nike, and the amount of money Caitlyn may earn elsewhere is now creating tension.
About things that Caitlyn was doing wrong when, in my personal opinion, she was doing nothing but going out there and playing great basketball every night and ignoring the hate that was coming to her from all sides, not only from...
Asia is unhappy because she feels that since Caitlyn won MVP, she should be the most talked about player and receive the most opportunities, but that isn't the case. If she moves overseas, she will be the highest paid women's basketball star in the world.
Asia Wilson, 28 years old, 1,000 points in the regular season. Why is that not the biggest story out at the moment? And why are we talking about Caitlyn Clark?
Why exactly? Why when Asia was releasing a shoe were we talking about Caitlyn?
Caitlyn has made the WNBA one of the most watched sports, improved sponsorship deals and raised salaries, but the league still has players that act jealously, which is why she should quit. Let's examine a game in which Caitlyn Clark is not present.
It's now commonplace where she'll go for 26 and 12. I mean, those are great numbers for any player, no matter how long you've been in the league. She's learned how to play the game, and she said, I had to learn how to play the WNBA.
Despite the fact that there were no WNBA fans before to Caitlyn's arrival, Asia believes she is the star. Caitlyn ought to be the top-paid player. Maybe she will relocate overseas and demonstrate to players like Asia Wilson what life would be like without her, but...
If you guys take a look at the stands, all the seats, even the courtside seats, are empty.
The WNBA has been rocked by the possibility that Caitlyn Clark would negotiate a deal with the European Basketball League. Europe has always been regarded as a haven for elite athletes in a variety of sports, with competitive leagues providing lucrative contracts and Caitlyn with international renown. Playing in Europe has substantial financial benefits, with earnings frequently surpassing those provided by the WNBA. Europe offers a chance to maintain its high level of dominance in the game while securing a prosperous future.
4. Moved home games to bigger arenas when Indiana came to town to accommodate more fans. I'm not finished. Attendance for the entire league is up nearly 50% this year, and Indiana leads all teams with an average attendance of 17,035, up 319% from a year ago.
Asia Wilson has expressed her displeasure with Caitlyn Clark's deal in Europe, and the main source of her annoyance is money. Asia has long dominated the WNBA, so the notion that Caitlyn could make more money overseas hurts. In the world of professional sports, the highest paid players are frequently regarded as the most valuable both on and off the court. For Asia, this change in earning potential threatens her position as one of the league's top players. It's not just about financial security, it's also about the recognition that comes with being the highest paid player. Asia, who has dedicated her life to establishing her reputation and securing her place in the WNBA, must now confront the unsettling possibility that Caitlyn's rising star may overshadow her. For someone who has represented the league for many years, this is a hard pill to take.
Went from being one of the most loved teams in the WNBA to being riddled with so much drama this season. Asia Wilson was under fire last week for the privileged comment that she made to Kel.
But money isn't the only factor. Asia's response to Caitlyn's contract with Europe is also based on her fear of losing her position as the league's leading figure. For years, Caitlyn has been the name that people think of when they talk about women's basketball, but her quick rise has altered that. The idea that Caitlyn could not only surpass her in earnings but also take center stage abroad is a blow to Asia's sense of security and prominence in the sport. Being the face of the WNBA is about more than just being a fantastic player. It's about being the athlete who captivates the public's attention, drives viewership, and represents the league internationally. Although Asia Wilson has had this role for a while, the two celebrities are now engaged in a heated rivalry as a result of Caitlyn Clark's ascent.
Agree with it. I thought she would be unanimous. I mean, it's not even close. Because I said the most important person in the league is Caitlyn Clark. And should be a top 5, if not, should have been a top 3 MVP candidate.
One of the most obvious distinctions between Asia Wilson and Caitlyn Clark is how fans view them. For Asia, it's not just about being the best player. It's also about staying relevant in a quickly evolving landscape where Caitlyn's name is becoming synonymous with the future of women's basketball. Due to Caitlyn's rapid growth of a devoted fan base that enthusiastically supports her on and off the court, her strong social media presence, and the high viewing of her games, there is now a noticeable gap between the two players. Despite her years of success, Asia has not been able to maintain the same level of fan loyalty that Caitlyn seems to command effortlessly. One reason for this is that Caitlyn's entry into the WNBA has given the league a new narrative, and fans see her as the sport's future, while Asia, despite her constant dominance, is seen as part of the league's past. Another reason is the excitement of new talent, which draws fans to the next big thing.
You're supposed to be the MVP, and you only got one win out of that series. That's why I think, now I wonder if they had a 5-game series in the first round, there might be a possibility they may not win that series.
Asia is frustrated by this lack of fan acknowledgement since she has put a lot of effort into creating her legacy, and yet someone who has just recently started to make an impression is overshadowing her. Asia is worried that as Caitlyn's army of supporters grows, her own fan base may dwindle, placing her in a less powerful position both in the league and in the public eye. Winning MVP should have cemented her as the face of the WNBA, but instead she's watching as Caitlyn takes over the spotlight. This isn't just about losing fans. It's about losing relevance in a league where fan loyalty can make or break a player's career. Despite everything that Caitlyn has done for the WNBA in terms of advocacy and viewership, she has encountered resistance from within the league. This resistance is surprising considering that Caitlyn has not only raised awareness of women's basketball but also introduced significant changes like charter jets for player travel. Why would the WNBA, an organization that ought to be celebrating its stars, treat Caitlyn this way? The nature of change holds part of the solution. Caitlyn embodies a new generation of athletes who question the current quo.
It was so bad, they got the #1 pick. You gotta be bad to get the #1 pick. And she led them to their first 20-win season in almost a decade. She led them to the playoffs. I mean, the girl deserved the...
Her candor, her quick ascent to fame, and her determination to demand better terms have made her a contentious figure. Some view her as a player who is upending the league too quickly and a threat to the status quo, but this resistance is also about power. Kin's influence has increased to the point where she can make demands, and people accustomed to controlling the narrative may find that kind of power unsettling.
LeBron James had tennis shoes in his rookie year. He didn't have a fraction of the impact on the NBA that Caitlin Clark has had on the W.
#1 in jersey sales, Angel Reese 2, Sabrina 3, Kate Martin 4. We talked about this earlier in the season. I feel sad that Kate Martin also hasn't gotten as much playing time the second half of the season. I feel like she deserves more, or maybe she deserves a different team. How crazy would that be if she went to Indiana? Just
paying customer, the audience didn't feel that way. They did not give a damn about the WNBA. Is that fair to the ladies? No, it isn't fair. But they're the paying customer. You don't tell them what they want. They tell you what they want. And they really were not feeling the WNBA to the degree that they're feeling the WNBA now, obviously because of Caitlin Clark.